Binati, I feel limited by genre. Okay, the only people who are limited by genre are literary critics and gatekeepers. That's it. It's just them who are limited by genre. A lot of good writing that you see out there is genre agnostic. Genre is just something that people assign to the writing later on. Take Frank Herbert's books, the Dune series, right? Um, Dune ended up changing the way science fiction is written when it was published because science fiction at that point in time was heavy on the science rather than the fiction. Okay, so if you take descriptions specifically, uh, the descriptions for science fiction used to be comprehensive. Everything about the sci fi had to be explained. In Dune, we have to come to Dune Chapter House, which is way down the line when some of the things about the science are explained to you. In the first few books, nothing about the science of the science fiction is explained to you. You get the fiction of it all. And Dune is still considered to be an iconic work of science fiction. Even if it broke all the rules of the genre, and in doing so, made new rules for the genre. Um, Dune, when it was published, was genre agnostic. It didn't care about the genre, so to speak. Let's also consider the romantic storylines that were happening in Dune, like Chani and Paul Atreides, Leto and Jessica. So many of these tiny little stories of humanity that are peppered throughout. Okay, so while the book is science fiction, you're wondering, are Chani and Paul going to end up together? Or is Lady Jessica's love going to be rewarded at some point in time? Right? You ask these questions, which are actually under the genre of romance, not science fiction. And yet, the book is considered to be classic science fiction. Onto, like, say, a script. Interstellar did something similar, didn't it? It didn't really explain much. It said there's too much dust, we need to quit the earth, and we are going to use this massive, spacecraft to do it. And then, out of the blue, love enters the chat, right? Um, it is done in such a beautiful way that even though you know you are watching a science fiction, as you watch it and cry. Uh, even though you are consuming science fiction, you are also consuming another genres of fiction with that storytelling, right? So at the end of the day, genres only matter to critics and people who try to pin art into, like, specific holes, or into, jam art into specific boxes. That is something that happens after the process. It's not supposed to happen before, right? It's not supposed to be like, I will write a YA and then that's it. No, you start writing and then you decide, oh, this looks like something a young adult would enjoy reading. Maybe I am writing a YA, right? With bits of romance, with bits of fantasy, with bits of horror. It's completely up to what you're writing. So be genre agnostic while you write, because a lot of good writing was genre agnostic when it was launched in the markets. Uh, then it was reviewed, and critics completely blasted the work initially for not following rules of the genre. And then a few years down the line, the rules of the genres changed because of these iconic works. So, genre is the tool, not the entire toolbox. If you feel like you are not able to write in a particular genre and that a genre is limiting you, put the tool away. There are many other tools in a writer's toolbox. Don't just be fixated on this one tool. If you are stuck on the genre, put that tool away and pick up another tool. There's a lot of tools in a writer's toolbox. Don't be fixated on the genre, it will distract you. Trust me, as writers, we look for distractions to avoid doing the thing that is most important, writing. So, if you feel like genre is stopping you, put the tool away, pick something else. Happy writing. Ask me more questions. Bye.